Tom Segura and YMH Studios have always been at the forefront of live podcasting, constantly elevating both the quality and shock value of each event while setting an example for their peers in comedy to follow. But now that the rest of the podcast world has officially caught up, it's time for Tom to change the game once again, this time with an entirely new type of hour-long special. Instead of paying for a live podcast, 69 Minutes is a fully scripted, fully produced comedy show that was filmed in multiple cities and features tons of other comedians. And after getting a chance to sit down with Tom, it's clear that this reimagined 60 Minutes parody is far from the end of new ideas coming from your mom's house. Well, Tom, thank you so much for joining the show today. Just right off the bat, in the trailer for 69 Minutes, we saw special guests like Brian Simpson and the Are You Garbage Boys. We saw Danny Brown playing pickleball, Christina getting a tattoo. In your opinion, which guest segment should people be looking forward to the most, and which was the hardest to film?
Man, looking forward to the most. I mean, it's hard to top Charo's segment. I'll tell you that. She's not a pro, but it was one of probably the three hardest times I've ever laughed in my life. Simpson's great. Jessica Kirson was hilarious in it. Joe List was so funny in it. So was Danny. I think everybody has great appearances. I mean, I was really happy that I get to explore the washcloth theory that I've had, that it's only that they're just for the pores. And I got to really ask super high level people about it in a serious way. So that was very fun for me. But I think everybody really, really killed it, honestly. Stavros, he has a segment in it that's really, really funny too. So as far as what's the hardest to film, I don't know. I mean, some of them are more elaborate. Like there's a thing where I want to make amends with RPC, Robert Paul Champagne, who's a guy that we featured a lot. So we went to New York for that. So that was its own challenges, and the logistics involved with all of that was a thing. But yeah, there was a huge effort to put this together. That's one of the things I tried to talk about on podcasts, is that doing this particular thing was, like putting together an episode of television. So the amount of people involved in it is not just what you see on camera, obviously, like the talent that appears on camera, but the amount of people involved to make it all come together. When you talk about the actual production and then the post-production, you're probably looking at 50, 60 people.
I guess that makes sense though, because you're kind of a pioneer in this live podcasting space with all the stuff you've done for YMH and Two Bears. But one of the things you always say is that you want to make the next one always better than the one before it. So is the thing that makes 69 Minutes different than what we've seen in the past just all of these other people working on this together, the off campus locations, or what makes this one so special?
It's a totally different thing. It's something that we always wanted to do, was the live ones are, how can you make a podcast more valuable and engaging, so that a ticket is, worth buying. So with the live shows, you go well, we can do some sketch pieces, some things that are not expected on a regular episode. And then obviously you have that the content can have no restrictions on a pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. And so, but one thing we've always wanted to get into was what if we did a fully scripted, produced comedy show? It's different in that there's not really any, I guess there's a couple beats that have podcast kind of elements to it, where it's this, sitting and talking. But essentially, the whole show is a comedy scripted show, right? Mm. So that was something that we always wanted to do. It's we always are trying to do more that is branching out from what we regularly do. The next step, I think, for us is to produce a feature film. These are all I think steps in trying things. And this, one of the things I said on the podcast, which is true, is the response to something like this dictates kind of what we do next, right? If people really respond to this as a special, mm-hmm. It informs us. It makes us go okay, we should do another one of these, or we should do something like this, or we should pursue other scripted content. The audience always going to dictate. Mm-hmm. That's why we made a dozen live streaming podcasts, is because people were continuing to want more. And this is just a chance for us to try something different.
Well, like you mentioned before, you got to ask some real questions about if washcloths are for the poor, which has been a classic YMH debate that's been going on for a long time now and has plenty of people actually angry, which you've doubled down on. But it's not even close to the craziest thing you've ever said on a podcast. So as a comedian, does it ever surprise you what people choose to get upset at versus what they can accept as a joke?
It surprises you the moment you go, oh, wow. But then you go yeah, this is what people people do, because you also realize that if you want to use washcloths as an example, the way that kind of went viral is that somebody clips like 30 seconds of a conversation, and then somebody who has no idea who you are or what this is just sees that and they go, oh shit, this is like very inflammatory, the way that this is said. And they don't get that it's kind of part of a longer, larger conversation, and that you're basically like doing a bit, right? But you don't get any of that when they clip it out. But I'm also used to that, like the idea that somebody will take, a line from a special and they'll print it. And so somebody reads that and they go, this is crazy that you said this. And you're like, yeah, but that's part of a larger thing going on. So I'm not surprised that people get upset. But yeah, I think in the moment you go, this is what you're fired up about? Okay. And then you just kind of have to go with it,
Well, you've recently said that pranking your mom on that crazy helicopter ride was the most fun you've had shooting a video, except for one of the segments filmed for this upcoming live show. One, how was that helicopter ride that looked insane? But also, without giving too much away, can you hint at what we could expect from this new most fun segment?
Well, the helicopter ride was an idea that I just go, hey, can we do this? Like, I talked to the people at the helicopter school, and then I was like, can I throw cameras in there and just like go up with my mom? And it came together so quickly. And then when they just said yes, I had been with this instructor before, and he's done the crazy shit he does in that video, and I was like, man, this would definitely terrify my mother. So it was a dream that I could make it come together. And then she was, it still makes me laugh how scared she was and how upset she was with me. But dude, this new one, I'll say, is my whole life I've listened to hip hop, and it's something that I would say maybe like a lot of people, my parents were never big fans of. The difference though with my mom and my dad is that my mom literally doesn't understand what is being said, like what the words are. Even if she reads them, she's like, what is this? So it's me pointing out to her some of my favorite hip hop songs and having her kind of review them with me.
Okay. Yeah.
It really led to I feel like I was nearly hospitalized. I could not keep it together because she doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what's going on. And she's saying things that she doesn't know what she's saying.
I cannot wait to watch that. Well, last question for you here, and then I'll let you get out of here. Thank you for your time today, Tom.
Of course.
You've already built a massive podcast empire. You're one of the earliest adapters to Austin. I've said before, if comedy keeps growing like this, it would be cool if 6th Street in Austin one day looked like the comedy version of Nashville, Broadway Street, like how every big country singer has their own bar. All the biggest comedians could have their own clubs. All that to say, what are the odds we ever get to see a brick and mortar YMH comedy club?
I don't think we would get into that business, mostly just because I'm not interested in running my own comedy club. I think it's great that Austin offers what it offers. Joe has the Mothership. There's Creek in the Cave. Red Band has the Sunset fucking room, whatever it's called. There's the new Cap City at the Domain. So you have all these places. I don't want to be involved in owning a comedy club. I'm much more interested in having like a bakery or something like that. It has nothing to do with that. But yeah, I'm super thrilled that Austin is doing as well as it is, and that people keep moving. Comedians all the time are either moving to Austin, or when I talk to them, they're like, I'm thinking about moving to Austin. So obviously, like, the appeal is there. People are attracted to the city. And I mean, it's great for us. It's great for us as comedians, as podcasters, and I will not be opening a comedy club for sure, though.
Well, bakery could still be cool, but imagine just your mom's house, all the cool branding, the jeans. It would be a sick club.
It'd be cool to have like a pop-up thing or some type of event, I think, but there's just, it's too much of a headache, man. I know too much about how comedy clubs run. That's the problem, is I'm too well informed.
Well, Tom, thank you again. You can get your tickets to 69 Minutes with Tom Segura over at ymhstudios.com. And just, I can't say enough. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
I just watching your special, Mostly Stories, my freshman year of college, was one of the main things that really got me interested in comedy and stand-up in general. Awesome. So it's just a really cool thing to get to talk to you all these years later.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate that. Like I said, congratulations on what you've built, and I think keep going, because you're filling something that needs to be filled with, like, that space. I think it's very smart that you did this.
Thank you. That means a lot. Appreciate it. All right. That was pretty unbelievable, honestly. I'm not really sure what to say right now, but let's just do guest spots and new specials real quick, and then we can talk more about interviewing Tom. Guest spots from last week. The Joe Rogan Experience talked with Stavros. Stavi was also on Two Bears, One Cave, as well as Kill Tony, We Might Be Drunk, and Are You Garbage? Whiskey Ginger talked with Trevor Wallace. Trevor also visited your mom's house. Ian Fidance was a guest on Tiger Belly. Hey Babe and The Tim Dillon Show did not have guests. Sebastian went on Flagrant. Jordan Jensen was on Chrissy Chaos. Taste Buds battled Giving versus Receiving. And Tommy Pope was on Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast.
I hope I go crazy enough.
Me too.
If I go crazy enough to,
dude, I hope you get Madonna
like, not
crazy.
get in shape in any way, but just go nuts on my face.
Chiseled fucking jawline.
Just do nothing with anything else and just get a crazy face.
I mean,
Just Joan Rivers your nose.
Matt, we've got to do the Patreon. Just no expression. And I've ads? What the fuck?
Dude, a thick black
not
hairpiece.
doing
Hairpiece that's sliding
It's
off.
a turtleneck.
Get the hairline down to
big
here.
fake face.
Get the hairline down to the eyebrows.
Get some wig bangs, dude.
This past weekend with Theo Vaughn spoke with Jelly Roll and Ernest. Shane Torres was on First Date. Kathy Griffin was on the Blocks podcast. Dan Soder visited Stavi's World. Being Ian with Jordan welcomed Dave Temple and Derek Gaines. Sam Roberts and Nicole Ryan were on You Know What Dude. Joe List, Joe DeRosa, and Lemaire Lee were all in the Legion of Skanks. The Honeydew talked with Kevin Ryan. And there's a new episode of The Regs. As far as new stand-up comedy specials are either out right now or coming out soon, Stavros Halkias has a new special out on Netflix right now called Fat Rascal. We also have a few YouTube specials, including Nick Mullen, The Year of the Dragon, which you can find on the Adam Friedland channel, and Shane Torres, The Blue-Eyed Mexican, on Bert Kreischer's YouTube channel.
But I got into this relationship, and I knew it was in trouble because she sent me a text, and all it said was, "I sent you an email." I was like, "Oh, that's not good. We're switching formats. I'm fucked."
We also have two new specials debuting December 12th, Maria Bamford Local Act on Apple TV, and Carmen Lynch's special Queef Week on Mark Norman's YouTube channel. And a few specials in the works right now from a couple of legends. December 25th, Ricky Gervais's new special Armageddon will be out on Netflix. Then just 1 week after that, Dave Chappelle's latest hour will also premiere on Netflix. And an exciting new project from Ryan Sickler, the brand new Way Back podcast will be debuting Thursday, January 4th. Okay, I don't know if I should be acting like we do this all the time or if this is unprofessional to be like, holy shit, we just got to interview Tom Segura, but I feel like you guys all know that this is insane. So thank you so much for watching these videos. For everyone that like subscribes and interacts with these at all, comments, views these videos, you made it possible to get Tom on this platform where he could see value in actually coming on this show. So thank you so much. I mean, it's really just a weird, I don't know what to say. I feel like this is a weird ending, but I also feel like you guys deserve to hear this because it's just incredible what we just got to do. I mean, we got to interview one of the top 15 comedians in the world who can sell out any arena on earth. There's not many arena comics. That's one of them. Not that that's how you should measure your favorite comedians, but I don't know. It's just truly mind-blowing. My mind is blown. It's completely just blown. Mind is blown. I hope Tom isn't watching this part because it's a little embarrassing, but you guys really deserve to hear it. Thank you so much. I guess we'll just see you next week. I don't know how we're going to top this, but we'll be back next week with episode 82 of the Comedy News.
At Joke World. That's it, at Joke World.
And the world is WRLD.
That's a great YouTube channel, Joke World. Check it out.